This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Ethos Gold, Mr. Alex Heath. Alex, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Gerardo?
I am well. Thank you for asking. You had some news that kind of stood out to me a bit. Let me read the headline and then I'll let you provide the context and I'll explain why it stood out. The news, the headline reads, Gold Spot Discoveries engaged by Ethos Gold to apply AI exploration technologies at the Too Good project in Newfoundland. Now, it's interesting to me because, of course, Newfound Gold is a company that went from cents to many dollars, right? And some of that success has to be a result of the work that Goldspot was able to do and help with the identification of targets. It seems like Ethos, which already has an ongoing drilling program with Perk Rocky, and I want to get an update there, is looking to kind of duplicate that. And I know I spoke with Craig Roberts the other day, and he was excited about the projects, the position. You've had a lot of news recently. I'll let you fill in the blanks on all of that.
Excellent. Yeah. So I'll start with Gold Spot. So you're right. They partnered with Newfound Gold when it was in the cents, right? Like I think they got involved at 40 cents when it was a private company, and they applied they're a technology services company. So they have machine learning techniques that they've developed to come up with high priority targets. But on Newfound, they knocked it out of the park. It was the very first hole that they drilled after, vectoring in using their technology, and they hit 19 meters of 93-ish grams per ton. So that's the kind of thing that we want to try and leverage. So we've got our geological team. Obviously, they're, brilliant minds. We've got a number of PhDs on our team, but it's always great to work with guys who've had success. So this is perfect. They've had success in Newfoundland. It's orogenic type deposit. That's what we're looking for. It's high grade. That's exactly what we're looking for. So it's a perfect match for what we're trying to achieve.
Fantastic.
And just, yeah, I'll talk about a little bit on Perk Rocky as well. Drilling was initiated earlier in the month, and things are going pretty well. We'll continue advancing that. Assays will take a number of weeks. But before that happens, we're looking at the core, and we're doing our own evaluations and figuring out what the next steps are, whether it's, try to get another drill, expand the drilling, or do we, switch gears. So that's kind of where we're at. We don't have results just yet, but we're very much anticipating that very shortly.
Well, you're well cashed up. You recently closed a $1.33 million private placement with Crest Capital. You also increased your land holdings in Newfoundland to 118 square kilometers. Explain the motivation behind that. Obviously, there's been a big area land rush, right? There's several companies that say they have, robust land positions, and there's several companies that say they have quality land positions. And if anybody knows the area, we know that some of that is true and some of that isn't. I want to ask about you increasing the land holdings there and just how you feel about the property block now.
Yeah, no, I feel good about it. This was a missing piece of the puzzle for us. So we had 115 square kilometers. So this was just a little piece, but it was very strategic. It was located sort of near to our Virgin Arm property that we had within Too Good, but it wasn't connected. So this last little bit here that we were able to acquire, which allows us, right ahead of, engaging Gold Spot to start doing work. Hey, let's acquire this land and we'll add it to the whole portfolio so that when we do our analysis, we've got the data on that piece of property as well. So it kind of holds it all together.
Wonderful. Walk me through, as if you didn't have enough going on, right? Walk me through what the rest of the year is going to look like, because it's an exciting second half of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've already started drilling at Perk Rocky, and so that'll continue, and then we'll get some results from assays in the coming weeks. At Too Good, we've already gotten on the ground, so we'll be doing some preliminary legwork with the field crews. They're going to be looking for outcrops, high-grade gold, visible golds, and then we've engaged Gold Spot. They'll be doing some analysis. We're also going to be doing Worldview 3, which we've talked about before with companies like K2 Gold and with Valor. And that's multispectral satellite imagery. It'll allow us to view the entire 118 square kilometers in one image. And then we can, through that multispectral analysis, we can look for areas that we have known gold mineralization and compare it to areas that have that same signature. So it allows us to do a lot of work in a very short period of time. And that's another thing that GoldSpot will be doing for us. In Shefferville, we'll be getting on the ground there in the coming weeks as well, doing our first field season there, coming up with some good drill targets. We've already got high-grade gold on surface, between 2 grams and 170 plus grams per ton, with an area where we have an iron-hosted mineralization for 60 kilometers long, so a very big target. And in Ontario, same thing, get our crews doing the first field season. So we don't know if we'll be able to drill Ontario this year. We're going to try, obviously, but it's looking like we'll be able to drill in Quebec and in Newfoundland at some point in 2021.
It's a lot to like, Alex. Anything else to add to that?
No, I think that's a lot on our plate. But like you said, we're cashed up, and we've got a great team. We've got this complementary work that GoldSpot's going to be doing with us to help us. It's about efficiency. Making sure that we can come up with some great targets so that when we go and drill, we have the maximized potential for a high-grade gold discovery.
And I think for people that are newer to the story, and judging by the share price performance, there's a lot of people that are newer to the story. It's important to highlight that each of these projects individually are comprised of district scale land packages, right?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned in Shefferville, we've got 60 kilometers of strike alone, right? And in Newfoundland, it's 118 square kilometers of property. So these are all very large. You want to kind of spread your arms out in case you do make a discovery. You don't want to be kind of petering onto your neighbor's property. So that's kind of the idea. Each one, we're swinging for the fences. We're trying to make big discoveries, and you don't do that when you have tiny little properties.
One home run is all it takes. You're swinging several bats for several home runs. It's going to be an exciting second half of the year. Thank you so much, Alex.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Chat soon.
Cheers.